Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Angular displacement. Angle delta theta defines the angular displacement during the time interval delta t. If a body is rotating in a circle and it was initially at time t1 and was making an angle phi1, after some time it reaches to the point p2 at time t2 and it is now at an angle of phi 2, then how much it is displaced, or what is the displacement of the body in time interval t1 to t2, that is delta phi. So delta phi or delta theta defines the angular displacement. If the angle is more, if the delta phi is more, then the body is displaced more. It means angular displacement is actually the delta angle or delta phi or delta theta, that is the angle from initial point to the final point. If the delta phi is more, then the body is displaced more. So, angular displacement is defined as the angle covered by a body between its initial and final positions, and the angular displacement is measured in three different units. It can be measured in degrees, or in radians, or in revolutions. As angular displacement is a vector quantity, so it has a direction, and its direction is get by the right hand rule. What is the right hand rule? According to right hand rule, curl the fingers of your right hand in the direction of rotation. If the direction of rotation is counterclockwise, then it is taken as positive, and if the direction of rotation is clockwise, then it is taken as negative. So, according to right hand rule, if your extended thumb points in the negative direction along the chosen axis of the rotation, as shown in figure, you have to curl the fingers of your right hand in the direction of rotation, and your thumb points, and if the extended thumb points in the negative direction along the chosen axis of the rotation, we call the rotation displacement negative or clockwise. If your thumb points in the positive direction along the axis of rotation, the rotational displacement was positive or anti-clockwise. So, by grasping the axis of rotation in such a way that your fingers points the direction of rotation, then your thumb will point out the direction of displacement. Now, we define the radian. Actually, radian is the unit of angle or angular displacement. What is 1 radian? Angle subtended by an arc of the length equal to the radius. This angle is known as 1 radian. For example, if we have an arc of 3 meters and the radius of the circle is also 3 meters, then angle subtended by this arc, whose length is 3 meters and radius is 3 meters, this angle is 1 radian. As we have defined, angle subtended by an arc of length equal to the radius. If you observe this arc, it is also of 3 meters and the radius is also 3 meters. So, angle subtended by this arc will also be 1 radian. It means that according to definition, this formula gives the value of angle by an arc. If the arc is of length 3 meters and radius is 3 meters, then the answer will be 1 radian. If arc is of 6 meters, means double, 3 and 3. Total arc is now bigger arc. We take the bigger arc from this point to this point. It is of 6 meter length. The radius is 3 meter length. Then the bigger arc will make a bigger angle, 2 radian. 1 radian by this arc, smaller, 1 radian by this arc. So total 2 radian. If the arc length is increased to 3 times of the radius, the angle will be increased to 3 times, means 3 radians. And by moving further, if the arc length is increased further, 4 radius, arc length increases to the 4 times of the radius, means 12 meter, then angle will be 4 radian. If arc length increases to the 5 times, angle will be 5 radian. In this way, what is the angle in a complete circle? What is the angle, amount of angle in complete circle in radians? As we know that total length of the circle, or the arc length of the circle, is 2 pi r. Circumference, which is also known as circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. It means circumference is 2 pi times of the radius. 2 pi means 6.28 radians. 2 into pi is 3.14. 3.14 into 2, 6.28 times of the radius. It means in complete circle there will be 6 radius and 0.28 radius. So 6.28 radius arc will form the 6.28 radian angle. As we know that 1 radius will form the 1 radian, 2 radius will form the 2 radian, 3 radius arc will form the 3 radian angle, and so on. 6 radius up to this length will form the 6 radian angle. But this red portion of the arc is not equal to complete radius. It is 0.28 times of the radius. 0.28 times of the radius. So the angle will be 0.28 radians. Not complete 1 radian, but it's less than the 1 radian. 0.28 radians. So complete angle in the circle will be 6 radians and 0.28 radians. Total 6.28 radians. So 6.28 means 2 into 3.14 are 2 pi. So complete angle in the circle in radians is 6.28 radians. How many radians? 6 radians and 0.28 radians in complete circle. Next time you will say, what is 2 pi? 2 pi is 6.28 radian. Angle and degrees. We are going to compare the radians and degrees in a circle. If angle is 2 pi, means 6.28 radians, it is a complete circle angle. And we also know that in complete circle, we take the 360 degrees. It means in 1 radian, in this arc, which is 1 radian angle, there will be 57.3 degrees. It means degree is a smaller angle. 1 degree is smaller angle, and 57.3 degrees when combined, they will form a 1 radian angle. 1 radian is a bigger unit. From this information, we can also calculate the arc length. If someone says that I know the angle in radians, it's very important to note that the angle, if the angle is given in radians, otherwise this formula is not valid. If the angle is given in radians and he also knows the radius, then he can calculate the arc length. For example, if the radius is 3 meter and angle is 2 radians, then arc will be 2 times of the radius. 2 times. If angle becomes 5 radians, then arc will be 5 times. Bigger angle, arc length will be bigger. It means that longer the arc length, bigger the angle. It means that S is equal to R theta is a formula for calculating the arc length. At last, we define some basic concepts. Uniform circular motion. Uniform circular motion is the motion of an object traveling at a constant speed on a circular path. And what is rigid body? A many particle system in which distance between each pair of particles remains fixed in time. For example, this is a rigid body, and particle P and particle B, the distance between them remains fixed during the motion. So this is a rigid body. Fixed axis, what is a fixed axis? Or pure rotation. A rigid body is said to move in a pure rotation if all the points on it describe circular paths with the center on a common straight line. This straight line is called the axis of rotation, as z-axis is the axis of rotation or fixed axis. Thank you for watching the video, and please subscribe our channel and visit the website www.cancollege.com. Thank you.